I was
All
busy.
right. Well,
I was busy today. I didn't even watch the Women's March or hear anything about it.
hey,
Who watched
hey,
the Women's
hey,
March?
novices,
Whatever.
we are live here. Oh my God. See, this is why we don't let little people onto our show.
Excuse
Jesus
me, little
Christ.
people? Excuse you.
I
All
told
right.
you didn't want me on here.
All right. Well, welcome to the Quick Draw Podcast. I'm Mike, your host, formerly at Order Young Guns. With me is my co-host and producer, the very lovely and talented Blue Fox Assassin, a.k.a. Kelly. I know I got those switched. Don't mess with it. It's going to be a shit show tonight, folks. And with us is a very special guest for her first time ever on TV is Kat. At CatRabbit13. She doesn't know what she's doing, guys. Be nice, okay?
Do we know what we're doing? Because I feel like
we don't. So be nice. Be really, really nice. Be nicer to her though than you are to us. Like, I know I'm not setting the bar too high. I'm not. Yeah. Well, that's what she said.
Okay, so
I
we
guess
were just okay. So you and I both are right now are getting attacked on I made one fucking little comment. Looks like the same footage as last year about the Women's March, and I'm getting like, holy, did I shook the hive? Like, holy shit, people do not like when people are not happy with me right now.
Well, everybody's saying that it's the same footage as last year.
It looks exactly the fucking same.
I will say this. I did see not our president signs. So unless it was a bunch of Tea Partiers marching last year against Obama, I could see that. Bunch of birthers.
Okay, that's fair. So there was not my president signs.
Yeah, but it's entirely possible, and I would, because those shots were like really zoomed in certain cities.
Well, yeah. So I feel like it's like, to me, it looks legit. Like the aerial shots look exactly like last year.
I wouldn't be surprised if they mixed in like some wide angle shots from last year to make the crowds look huge, and then they focused in on the things they wanted to focus in.
Yeah.
When they wanted to get their point across, like, oh, this is just showing how much people hate Trump.
Look how many. Yeah, okay, because it looks exactly the same as it did last year. But
okay. Half the country didn't vote for him, so I expect half the country to be upset that their guy lost. But
oh yeah, now Elijah comes on. Oh, what did I miss? Okay, thanks, we're good.
just tell him to join, guys. Tonight is a shit show Saturday. It's going to be really, really fun.
Well,
we posted the link in the live chat. We posted the link in the live chat. I'm going to post it again, and if anybody wants to join, as long as you're not too weird about it, we won't kick you out.
Whatever.
And even if you are kind of weird about it,
the better, okay? It's fine.
As long as I'm the one getting
worries.
sexually harassed, it's okay. Like, that's fun. Where did Kelly go now?
I'm just talking to Elijah. Elijah is the host of What the Fuck Are They Talking About podcast, and a really good friend of mine. He's amazing. So I messaged him to see if he wanted to come on tonight, and he's just responding to me now. So I'm just going to ask.
Yeah, that's just the kind of shit we work. The quick draw, quick thinkers, you know. Think on our feet. Even if our co-host has a catastrophic failure on his computer. So John's computer died. It just decided it wanted to die today. And then our guest was going to be Mr. X, but he was having technical difficulties too with the app, which is a little bit of a bummer. Because it would have really been nice to get his opinion on the whole shithole countries thing.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So I feel like earlier in the week I posted this video. It's my favorite YouTube video, which is kind of sad because it's just a guy pouring gumballs in a bunch of cans. But it basically careful now. It's okay.
We're just going to see how often Kelly can get me to spit take tonight. I can just do myself a favor and not drink while she's talking.
It basically debunks the whole mass immigration thing and it's a great video. Maybe I'll post it again.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's a great video. Did you watch the whole way through? It's a little bit long for me to share it on air, but
I think I watched it in college. Actually, I'm trying to remember if they were. I think there were some issues with it. Actually, now that I remember, I think there was.
No, it was so basically he has all these canisters and they're full of gumballs, and each canister represents a different like continent or area of the world and its population. So each gumball represents X number of people. And then he has an empty glass and he says, okay, well, this is how many, immigrants we take in. And he puts a couple of gumballs in there. And he's like, okay, so that's pretty good. So here's the problem. This area, like Africa, their population grew last year by X number of gumballs. And he takes a big bucket out and he dumps it all in and they're going everywhere. And it's like, so we could double or triple the amount of people that we take in, and it would still not make a dent because every year these other countries and other places around the world that we're herding into the US and Canada and places like that are tripling their population, or it's insane. We're not doing anything. So mass immigration is a joke, and it's a complete waste of time and money and energy.
So I don't prescribe to a particular view on immigration as far as like quotas, how many we should have or shouldn't have. My view is you should secure your borders, which makes sense. Like you should not have an immigration free for all where anyone can come in and stay and do what the fuck they want. On the other hand, they shouldn't be so stringent that it's impossible to come in. Because especially when you're like the number one vacation spot for, you're tired, you're poor, you need to be free, then it's a little bit
because tired and poor people vacation all the time.
Don't be a smartass. That's my job.
I feel we established that's my job.
But my point is people are going to come here regardless, so you should figure out a way. Oh my God, we have another Canadian here. This kid's going to be insane.
Hi.
No proof, eh? Put me back bacon there for a moment, then I'll get it right together for you. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt there. I'm sorry.
How the hell are you? Oh my God. I have not seen you or talked to you forever. Were you at the Women's March today?
Don't worry about it. This is what I deal with every weekend, so don't feel bad.
Oh, he's used to dealing with me.
I think it's the other way around. I think you need to get used to dealing with me.
Yeah.
I'm
there we go.
Elijah.
There we go. Elijah, Kat, Elijah.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Kat is
much better. We can hear you much better now.
Oh, nice. Yes, very nice. Kat's mixing us some drinks to make this night
I'm the
way
bartender.
smoother.
I am helping out as well. Tonight is Kraken and mug root beer.
All right, so what have you got for us, Elijah? You've always got something up your sleeve.
Oh, something to talk about?
Here.
Oh, God, where the fuck do I begin? Shit. You kind of caught me off guard there. I wasn't prepared. I don't even know where to begin. I can go
okay,
with.
Why do you got to put a guest on the spot like that, Kelly? That's not
because
nice.
It's Elijah, and
I do
always
that
got something. And and how many times have you put me on the spot? You'll like tag me in some feminazi like thing, and then you woke in the hive and like, oh, Kelly would like to join in.
I do that too, but I do that in the sex threads. it's like, let me rile up the sex people. Oh, hey, Kelly, jump on in here.
Abortion is acceptable for some, but not for others. Decide which one you don't like and put yourself in that category.
She gets a bunch of creepers in her DMs, and I'm like, bye.
It's scary. Honestly, I would be worried to be a woman in this day and age just from
on the internet.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god! I have two
What's
daughters.
that
I have two
road?
daughters, and I'm like, no internet for them until they're like
Yeah.
31.
It doesn't get easier. I'm guessing.
Kat, how many dick pics do you get on like a per diem basis? Like ballpark it.
None, thank God, but I do get offers to have babies.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Yes, I've got.
I don't know how
I'd
I'd respond to that. I think I'd take
Yeah.
a dick pic over that.
It's a block.
Yeah, guys,
Typically,
guys,
yeah,
they don't do dick pics. They just go in and they start talking to you like and you're hi, who are you?
I know, right?
I send dick
My
pics,
block.
but they're full profile faces.
Right?
Nothing says hello in the morning like a good old Eli in the wood.
So I actually have seen, because my wife would sometimes like freak out when she first like started doing makeup on the internet, and she get all kinds of weird stuff. And the weirdest one I've seen is it's an actual video. Like somebody sent a dick video. Only it was of their like scrotum. It was like of their scrotum sucking itself in. Like I don't know how,
nice.
you do that. Like
Awful.
watching a trainer. I'm like, what the hell?
That's actually a martial arts tactic. There's actually a way where you can literally control your muscles
Sucking
and
your balls
suck.
inside
You can suck them inside, so when you get kicked, you don't actually get kicked in the nuts. I swear to God.
See, I told you, Elijah will have some random information.
It was like, and I wanted to watch. I almost, without sounding too gay, I wanted to watch it like the JF Kennedy video, like back and forth, back, just to see how he did it. Like, is there like a vacuum cleaner in there or something that I don't see?
Nice.
I'm gonna make my own grass. Watch this. Whoop. Just hope you don't get shots fired.
People are fucked up on the internet. I'm so glad I'm not a woman.
For many reasons.
True.
Yeah, you have to do marches. It's insane. Like the list of demands that you have is not fun.
Every 3 weeks, you got a week of absolute hell. Fuck
right?
I've heard some stories. I've heard some horror stories that, I mean, from what I understand, when I displaced my spleen and my liver, that was comparable to a bit like the cramps that you get.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. There was no breathing, there was no coughing, no laughing, any sort of movement hurt. If someone said or did something, death.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so Elijah, I watched your podcast. You took some time off, because you became a daddy, and your daughter's adorable, and you're just coming back.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
She's so cute.
Congrats.
How old is your daughter now?
She is turning 3 in a month.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Wow.
So you're just kind of getting up and started again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was happy when I finally got to see an episode last week. And my favorite story of the night, I have to say, was the Japanese porn star. Can you?
You want me to bring that story up?
Can you? No, this is good. Can you tell me? Can you remind me how it went exactly? Because that was brilliant. Like I was dead. I was dying.
All right. So essentially, what happened was this Japanese adult video star. She's okay. I got the thing up here. So for this scene, there were around 30 male actors lined up. The actress was kneeling on the ground, and the actors were taking turns to ejaculate onto her. The director insisted that they direct their semen into her mouth, which is quite normal in these types of movies.
Don't.
Wait. Can we stop right there? I feel like this should be like an internet challenge where you read this out loud to your friend and they try not to laugh. Or they're like drinking something and they like don't choke on it.
Just wait till you get to the end.
Super ironic, I know.
Feels better.
Okay, so unfortunately, however, during the filming, the Japanese actress began to choke on the semen, according to the witness. The camera crew stated that she thought she was actually acting when in fact she was unable to breathe. She had swallowed too much of a load, apparently. Right?
Okay. Can I just point out that Bukake means is Japanese for to splash with?
Yeah. So it came as quite a shock to us when she collapsed, he told the journalist. The director was angry at first, telling her that she'd ruined the shot. Then once it realized
she
that
was
she couldn't
method
breathe.
acting.
The camera operator said the male actors panicked afterward, but fortunately one of them was a skilled emergency medical responder.
He's like, I'm not doing mouth on that, bitch.
The director said he tried to scoop as much of the semen out before starting mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, but it was too late.
Ew.
Right?
It was too late.
Somebody get me a turkey baster now.
It's not gay if you try to scoop it out first.
Too late. It was too late.
Yeah. She died.
She was already
Choked
dead
on
before
semen.
he started. Like,
What a way to go, man!
God.
Oh my god. I think on my list of ways to die, that's like down there at the bottom. not quite down
I'm
there.
surprised that it made the list there. Can we go back to that?
Yeah, right.
I mean, have you ever watched the show 1,000 Ways to Die?
No.
holy shit!
Like,
wow.
Oh man, I watched. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh,
I've
that's an
heard of it.
amazing
Yeah,
show.
I've never watched it. Yeah, I never watched it. But.
Okay, they have it in Canada. Okay, so yeah, it's narrated by Ron Perlman, so that alone is reason to watch it. But
Okay.
but it's literally like 1,000 Ways to Die. Just it does dramatic reenactment.
Oh yeah, I have seen
of
that.
like
Okay, yeah, like a while ago. Yeah.
all these different ways that people have died that are just like obscenely strange and bizarre. And half the time, it's somebody's retarded. Like, there's really only one way to die, and that's be a fucking moron. But like, there's variations under that kind of umbrella. The other half are things where I'm like, holy shit, that can never happen to me. I do not want that to happen. Ever, 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 ever.
Yeah.
Like some guy died fucking a raccoon.
I didn't even know what to say to that.
He got really drunk. There's a lot. There had to be some all that. You figure that. It's like he got really drunk.
Right now, Kat's going. I don't have enough vodka to do this show.
Oh, there's a lot in here. There's a lot in here.
But yeah, he got really drunk. Apparently confused the raccoon for his girlfriend.
Ooh.
And the raccoon was not fond of the touching and ended up biting him in places. And I guess he severed an artery or something because the guy bled out and died.
Ooh, baby, I love your way every day.
Just keep me away from alcohol, and I think we'll be fine.
Scary thing though is we had actually done a special back in the day on these guys in, I think it was like Peru or something like that, where they're really, really, really chaste. Like you don't have, if you're a guy, you don't have sex until you're married, and then you only have sex with your wife. However, there is a loophole.
Uh-oh.
I was gonna say, so far, okay, that's like a lot of religious guys. I'm following.
You are allowed, and it is commonplace and well known, and in fact socially acceptable, that all the men have girlfriends that they have sex with until they're married. And often after they're married as well, they will go back to the same girlfriend. And yeah,
Your girlfriend's a goat, isn't it?
Close. It's a donkey.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they do that in the Middle East. Like, apparently goats are illegal.
Like, no.
No means no.
Can a goat have consent?
Yeah, how do you retract that consent?
You know what's funny is they actually have a term for it now. They call it zoophilia.
Mm-hmm.
It's apparently bestiality is not politically correct.
Yeah.
Zoophiliacs will argue that they indeed can get aroused because they can get aroused, which kind of feels like the whole like men can't get raped argument to me. It's a little bizarre, but they'll argue that yes, animals can give consent, which is a little fucked up.
Really?
Don't ask me how I know these. I'm like a Mormon Tyrion Lannister. I don't drink and I know things.
I could see it if it was like one of those like fancy sign language monkeys, but then wouldn't you feel like really extra bad? Like you didn't just rape an animal, you raped an intelligent animal.
You know what?
Sitting there going, no,
the dolphin raped me first. So you know what? I'm only giving it a taste of its own medicine. You like that, Mr. Flipper?
How do you like my bottlenose?
Take it up your blowhole. God, this is going to be our last show forever. Like,
it is.
I am just grateful that I will have company at lakefront property in hell.
I'll be the bartender.
I was gonna say, at least you get lakefront property. I'll probably be stuck in like some like shitty ghetto.
The ghettos of hell. Now, what the fuck is that gonna look like? Just a bunch of Mormons and some.
Hey now, hey.
I only pick on the Mormons because of South Park.
That's okay. I pick on the Mormons because I'm Mormon.
Yeah, they were Mormon, weren't they? Was it Mormon?
No, they were raised in Colorado, where there's a lot of Mormons, and it's right next door to Utah. They actually like Mormons, believe it or not. Like if you ever listen to their interviews or read their interviews where they talk about it, they actually really love Mormons. They're just atheists, so to them all religions are stupid. But it's kind of funny because when they did the Book of Mormon play, right, which I really want to watch. I've heard it's really good, and I kind of know the story about it, so I kind of can relate to one of the main characters on it. So, not the gay one. Before anyone says anything smart, I'm looking at you, Kelly.
I know,
but. Like they did an interview, and it was kind of funny because the Mormon Church, they came out and they basically said something to the effect of like, the Book of Mormon play will entertain you for an evening. The Book of Mormon, the book, will change your life, or something like. It was just something kind of really corny, like, totally not surprising if you're familiar at all with the Mormon Church. And somebody pointed that out in the interview, and they're like, so how did you like the response? Like, we were totally expecting that. That's why we picked them. We knew that they, like, of all the religions we could make fun of, these were the one guys that wouldn't go ape shit over it. And
that's part of the problem.
Well, it was their argument. And when I read this interview, it actually made me more, I mean, I was kind of interested just to see what all the buzz was about, but reading their interview made me want to go see it really bad. Is the whole premise of the show, the whole point of the show is like, guys, we're atheists, we don't believe in religion, but we see the value of religion. And if you're going to be religious, if you're going to believe in fairy tales and you know, miraculous stories that science can't prove can be true, and if you're going to believe all this stuff, which I do, but if you're going to believe all this stuff, be like the Mormons. Look at the Mormons. They're cool. See, you know, we do this show, we completely make fun of them, and they don't go, kiss them, cut off their head.
I'm just going to keep drinking.
You do that.
I'm getting a fatwa for that one.
All of a sudden, we're just going to see a little red dot appear in between your eyes.
No, I'm in a basement. I'm in a bunker. They can't get to me. So I go upstairs. You know?
Be careful. That might be a challenge. course, they don't really like challenges. It seems like the people they pick are people who can't really run very fast.
Or they go into states that don't really let you have guns. They tried to do Texas. It did not end well for them. I read that story and I'm like, what were you guys thinking? It's fucking Texas.
Yeah.
It's like
That wasn't a well thought out plan.
Texas. So did you guys hear about this? Are you familiar with that story at all? I don't know if it made its way up to Canadian channel. So they were hosting a free speech rally, but the whole point of it was to basically draw Muhammad. It was a Muhammad drawing contest to piss off the Muslims in Texas. Well, a couple extremists got pissed off because I guess in the Mohammedan religion that's very offensive or idolatry. You're not supposed to do that. So a couple of angry Muslims got it in their head that, hey, we can take on Texas. They did. They did.
We got ourselves some guns and some ammunition and some explosives.
I get Fort Hood was in Texas, but that was a special case, guys. So I feel like maybe we learned a lesson there. Don't go to Texas unless it's an unarmed military base.
Even then, that might have just been a fluke. Or wait, no, they should go try.
No, they should try military bases because unfortunately, military bases have been, for some stupid reason, have been unarmed since Bill Clinton. They made a rule that basically says if you're on the base, you have to put away your firearm. You cannot carry your firearm on the base, which is really dumb. They're fucking soldiers, dude. They know how to. Nobody's gonna shoot themselves in the foot unless it's intentionally to get out of a war they don't want to fight in.
You know what? I guarantee that happened at the same time that Bill Clinton was getting a blowjob, and there was just some guy standing outside the door. Mr. President, do you mind if we disarm the military? Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh god. Yes. Oh go.
You better put some ice on that, sweetheart.
Hillary will never find out.
I don't think she can. I think Hillary knew. Hillary knew. She just didn't give a shit.
No, fuck no.
Until he got caught.
Hillary's been wearing the pants in that relationship since the beginning.
If you want to know, if you want to get like an in-depth understanding of the Clintons, watch House of Cards. I swear to God, she is like a female Frank Underwood. It is depressing.
For a second there, I thought you said she was going to be a female Frankenstein. I would have concurred with that one as well.
Well, no, it's Frankenstein's monster. That's
semantics. Yes. Everybody knows it's Frankenstein's monster, and the guy had no name, and it was the bride of that one. Though is confusing, and it's because of the bride of Frankenstein, because he wasn't making a bride for himself; he was making a bride for the monster.
Okay, so a good friend of mine. And I'm going to rethink this friendship now that I know that he knows this story, but he's talking about a guy that died while getting fucked by a horse.
Okay, what is this? What is going on? Where?
Good old Varric, my German buddy.
All right.
Like, of course, a German would know that. I was like, well, he tried. I guess you can only have 4 people in here, so.
Uh-oh, do you want me to hang up? You want somebody funnier?
Better luck next time. Well, we got to liquor you up first.
Well, I'm sort of getting there.
The higher the intake goes, the more she will speak.
Maybe. We'll see.
She's like, not enough booze in the world, guys. I'm drinking this I drink to numb my feelings. So
that's fair.
So, Kat, do you see anything exciting in Florida for the Women's March?
I live in Podunk, nowhere, so nothing happened as far as I'm concerned.
That's the same thing for me.
I know. I live in literally the middle of nowhere, so.
I got you beat.
And I live
you live in Canada. Everywhere is the middle of nowhere.
It's true. It takes me 40 minutes to get to the nearest town.
I have a feeling that's why everybody in Canada is so fucking laid back. Because go to some place like New York and Los Angeles, and everyone's pissy and cranky. It's because they're like sardines in a can. Like, You go out to Canada, it's wide open spaces, and it's green, and weed is legal, so you guys are probably getting all kinds of contact highs. Like,
it's not really so much legal, and also they're doing some really fucked up ideas. This whole I don't know how they're planning on doing it, but this breathalyzer for pot, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Oh, it makes me hurt my head. Makes my head hurt. Holy shit. It gave me goddamn dyslexia. That's how fucking stupid it is. I'm not saying dyslexia is stupid, just saying that the stupidity of that rewired my brain elsewhere.
Fair enough.
Just so we're not offending anyone. Oh, because you guys are in Canada. You're not allowed to offend people, are you? That's like against the law. Like to offend people. Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't live in Canada. I could barely visit.
You can be rude in Canada. Trust me.
Oh yeah, you
can
can
be rude.
you can be rude.
Well, I mean, you have Quebec.
Look at some of the shit I've said on Twitter.
Look at some of the stuff I've said.
There's a couple of times even, you've even maybe just like, whoa. Okay. Woo. Just gonna take my jacket off and walk away from that heat. Holy shit.
You're welcome.
Story of my life. It's like,
I try.
Bye, Kelly.
Woo. I try. I'm gonna make your life interesting somehow.
But I could visit. I could maybe visit Canada. I have a couple good reasons to visit Canada, but
the only good reason to visit Canada is because as soon as you've left what you had, you realize what you've lost.
Okay, that's one good reason. I guess Kelly would be the other one.
Touche.
No, I got a couple. I have a few friends, and one of my wife's really good internet friends is from Canada, so we'll probably.
I'll be visiting Canada in 3 weeks here to freeze my ass off.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
You can come and see me.
Why are you doing that? I don't get that. Why don't you do that?
We're going to the Ice Hotel. We hate Florida. Florida sucks. The temperature sucks.
And so
here.
you're going. Okay.
So we're going to the Ice Hotel to freeze our butts off, literally. I know it's weird. We hate the heat.
Oh, I fucking
okay.
love
We
it.
can trade. Do you want to exchange?
Do you like? I was gonna say.
Timeshare. We can trade.
There you go. Do you live like in Central Florida, Northern Florida?
I'm actually at the beach. I live at the Scrotum.
How do you know? I grew up there. I grew up like 10 minutes from the beach. How do you not like the weather? It's like perfect.
It's hot.
Every day, especially in the winter. The winter.
Winter's great. Yes, winter, no complaints. It was 41 degrees when I woke up this morning. It was great, but
that's cold.
The rest of the 9 months out of the year suck. So yeah, it's hot.
2 weeks ago, we hit minus 40.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, where the hell are you?
Was that Celsius or Fahrenheit?
At that temperature, they're the exact same.
Yeah.
Like,
Grey Wolf says he hates the cold.
At that point, what do you care?
Fuck, it was so goddamn cold. My beard was freezing up. Like I had crystals forming on it.
Yeah, I've had that too. Where I go outside and like your hair starts legit freezing up just from your breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had some insane cold weather this winter and it sucks. I am so done.
It's global warming. Didn't you hear? Global warming is going to make it's going to make the earth cooler.
I'm waiting for global warming. I'm done with global cooling.
Apparently melting glaciers and ice caps make the water level recede. I'm still trying to figure out this one. So
the whole concept behind that just blows me away. The fact that we're basing our entire temperature change over the last, at most 2,000 years.
We do not have data that goes that far back. We've got maybe like 100 years of data at most.
Accurate data, I'll give it to you. Yeah.
We've got 100. Like I looked this up. I researched this once, and legit, we started tracking our weather.
I think it was the 1700s.
No, but like there is a tracking system put in place.
In the 1900s.
1930s. It was kind of really started, so that's about as far back as we can accurately track.
I thought it was a little earlier, like 1910
no,
at the earliest.
I might have that. I don't. It was a while ago, but I just remember that it was like we legit have less than a century of accurate weather tracking where we can actually say, well, this is how much. Otherwise, it's just what we've recorded, right? Like.
And there'll be some archaeological evidence, like you can go digging into the ground, and in some places you will find deposits, so on and so forth. But the thing that blows me away is if we're leaving an ice age, well, logic's going to say shit's going to warm the fuck up. So where does that line hit? Well, wherever the normal is supposed to be. The amount of carbon dioxide that we're putting out there. I don't get what the big deal.
People act like global warming or global cooling or climate change is the end of the world, but it's like, so what? It's like people are like, well, things are going to go extinct. I'm like, things go extinct anyway. That's not our
damn
fault.
Time things go extinct.
Yeah, like, the dinosaurs were here. Now they're not. Nobody goes, man, I wish those T-Rexes and Velociraptors were roaming the streets of New York more.
Well,
I've seen that movie. It doesn't work out well.
Given today's state of youth, I think it might actually make a great reality TV show.
Yes.
Teens versus Velociraptor.
Yes.
Here, kid, here's a Tide Pod. And there's a dinosaur. Go have fun.
The running of the raptors.
Next on What Will Kill Them First.
I love it. Yes. I hope I'm the one that kills them first.
The Purge.
Yes. You know what? I'll in all seriousness, I don't want them dead because dead men learn no lessons. I want them severely beaten.
Just maimed, maybe a little crippled.
Used as examples.
Have you guys? So speaking of The Purge, have you guys seen that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's bad. That's a horrible movie.
It's bad.
It is.
That movie. For those of you that have not seen it, that are like actually stuck around for the past 30 minutes, it is basically what coastal elite Hollywood thinks would happen to America if the Tea Party was in control. In their worldview, if people like me were in charge of the government, we would create a system where one day a year it was like perfectly legal to just murder poor people.
And
they're right. I absolutely would. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. That's horrible.
I feel like that's a liberal dream, right? Where everything's acceptable. Yay! Boom, boom, boom. I think it's a great idea, especially because the liberal left seems to have a tendency to eat itself.
just okay, everybody who actually has morals and values, we're going to keep you in this state, and everyone else who doesn't, you can go to that state and eat each other. So like Escape from New York or Escape from LA. That's what we should do. It's a great movie, by the way.
Oh man, fucking Kurt Russell.
That's the beauty of American federalism, right there. It's like we don't like each other because I'm conservative and you're liberal. Well, then you can go live in California. Fuck California.
Which is now deciding to separate itself because it can't fucking decide and it's eating itself.
Conveniently.
I love that. I love that is. Somebody, one of my friends on Twitter pointed this out and it's really funny. So the liberal side of California, which is like a very tiny portion of it, wants to separate completely from a new California. And the conservative side, which is the bulkier side, wants to separate itself from the rest of California, call itself New California. And some smart-ass Californian was like, where's New California going to get its tax dollars? Because LA is old California, and San Diego is an old California. And one of my buddies is like, well, where's old California going to get its water? Touche, motherfucker. Is that your kid, Kat?
No, I am kid free tonight. No kids in the house.
Oh, wait, can you hear? I think my dog is whining down there. He's all depressed because the boys are gone.
Could be mine.
Oh, you're kid free too. Oh,
I
not in
am.
a good way. Sorry. I am kid free, which is fucking awesome. Yeah.
Did yours move out?
One's at grandma's and one's with the sitter. So yeah.
Party! And you got the
Vodka.
vodka out? Rock out with the vodka out.
I know. So vodka, second cup. Woo.
We're going to see how shit-faced we can get Kat before she's just like, these people are too insane.
We're just going to
I
let
can't get
Kat
drunk
steer
enough.
the show now.
So, Kat, what do you want to talk about?
I don't want to talk about anything. I'm enjoying you guys. You guys keep going.
Well, I do have an interesting topic coming in from the U.S. and the U.K.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right, shoot.
Apparently, Burger King has admitted to having horse meat in their burgers, and it's legal in the state.
Honestly, would anyone know the difference?
No.
It might taste better. It might taste
Yeah.
less like newspaper. You get real meat in your burger.
Yeah.
Horse meat's real meat, right?
Yeah, but
Yes.
before the horse meat, what were you getting?
Worms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worms.
Ew.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
fucking gross having someone.
I'm
making your
not a
own
fan
food.
of. I don't like fast food cheeseburgers. If I'm going to eat a cheeseburger, I'm going to go to like a Steak and Shake or. Oh, those are good burgers. Oh God. Or Johnny Rocket. Have you guys been to a Johnny Rocket?
No, I feel we don't have those.
Kelly, you need to come down here and I will just feed you. Okay. There's like a list of things. I asked Kelly this, like, it seems like every other day. I'm like, Kelly, have you ever tried this? And she's like, no, we don't have this in Canada. I'm like,
You live near.
get
you
your
live near a
ass
major
down here,
metropolis.
girl. What?
We're like the deprived child that gets stuffed in the attic.
Yes, yes, we are.
America's hat.
Yeah, we're just the accessory. We're like the whiny little brother.
Actually, we should just annex Canada. I'm totally down with annexing Canada on one condition. We can deport Trudeau to Australia.
Fair? No.
Or North Korea.
I
Like, all the
just
Canadians
deport.
are like, yes!
Just
Annex
deport.
us!
Oh.
Take us now!
No, but he has to take Win with him.
Yes.
I don't see. I know Trudeau, and that's it.
Okay. Well, she's our provincial
She
representative.
should be like your governor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's a tool too.
Oh, yeah.
Giant fucking tool.
Oh, wait, now, okay, is this Trudeau guy, the guy that's in charge of Canada,
Mhm.
Yep.
is he related to the cartoonist Trudeau?
No, it's
That is just an unfortunate coincidence.
For which one?
Probably for the cartoonist.
Because the cartoonist is kind of a tool too. But at least
Yeah,
he has a
but-
few good points every now and then.
Fucking Justin Trudeau, though. Damn, that guy.
yeah.
Wow.
He doesn't. He doesn't strike me as very intelligent. Like, I don't follow Canadian politics that much. I've only
Well,
recently started
that's
following.
because he has
It's Canadian
to ask
politics.
his wife. Like his wife carries around his balls in her purse, so that has a lot to do with it. Like, did
But,
you
you know,
read?
he strikes me as very infantile. Like, he seriously
Yeah, is that
strikes
because
me.
he was building
he's
a
like-
blanket fort in his office, or like?
Yeah, like
what about that strikes you as
a child.
infantile?
Like, he's intellectually a child. It's almost like, dude, you're a grown-ass man. What the fuck? You're leading like a semi-free nation. Like, what the hell?
Just because a grown man builds a blanket fort in his office does not mean he's infantile. Okay,
It just means he might need to seek medical help.
maybe a little.
Okay, so that does remind me of a funny article I read. So there was this Mormon blogger who was writing about what she calls the infantilization of Mormon men. it was kind of an interesting article because what it dealt with is the topic. So for those of you guys that don't know, Mormonism is very big on chastity and abstinence and reserving yourself for marriage, and then after you're married, only having sex with your wife. So sexual sin is a big deal in the church. Like depending on the seriousness of it, you can get into a lot of trouble with the church. You can get actually kicked out for certain sexual sins. It's also a lot more lenient than people think. It's just most people feel like it's the end of the world if you have sex before you're married. It's a cultural thing, but it's not the end of the world. It's just really, really bad.
Question:
So
isn't there a loophole regarding sodomy?
No, I don't think so. I would know about that.
Do you see what I have to put up with on a daily basis?
I feel like I would know that loophole. I would be in and out of that loophole if that was a loophole.
Baby, it's okay in God's eyes. God approves of the stink eye.
But the point is, the point is culturally, Mormons can be very, very afraid of sex when they're young. Because they're afraid of getting in trouble. So she's writing about this, about how like in our efforts to preserve Mormon youth from sexual sin, we made them incapable of dealing with the opposite sex as adults when they are old enough to start dating and looking for a spouse and thinking about, okay, I want to get married, I want to have sex. And that leads to all kinds of problems after the marriage. So one of the examples she uses is a friend of hers. She was in college, and a friend of her was telling her about this date that she was going to have. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we're doing a scavenger hunt, and then after that, we're going to make a pillow fort." And the author's like, "Oh, you're going to make a pillow fort, like to make out in?" And they're like, "No, we're just going to make a pillow fort." And I'm just like, well, "You're 21 years old. Who the hell does that?"
That's a little weird.
Just to make a pillow fort? Yeah.
At 19 to 21, I feel that's a little odd.
I'm gonna go.
I would have been like, I would have been
destroy my pillow
like, if some girl was like, if some girl came up to me and like, "Hey, you want to come over to my apartment and we'll build a pillow fort?" I'd be like, "Damn, that is the best euphemism ever." And then later she told me, no, I meant literally. We're just gonna build a pillow fort. I'd be like, "We're not making it to date number 2. Goodbye."
It's a little odd. Now, if you're hanging out with your buddies and everyone's pissed drunk and you fucking end up throwing shit at each other and a fort gets built up out of that, that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
That's okay. That's I know.
Elijah's just saying that so he doesn't feel bad because he built the pillow fort earlier today.
I was gonna say, Elijah, that was oddly specific.
I will build a pillow fort? No. It's got to be like a castle, man. Like, if you're going to do it, you got to go balls to the wall. There's got to be levels to it. There's got to be like a drawbridge and shit. None of this fucking, if you're going to be doing it as an adult, you got to go to town on it. You can't just be giving a little pin.
Right.
I'm
going to tack it into the wall.
You get one of your engineering buddies to come in and like make it the code.
Right, yeah. You got to get in there, get a structural engineer in there to approve it first. That's a man's bed fort.
Wait, is there something new? Okay, so we got.
Do you guys want me to arrange a play date or something?
Only if you know the secret code.
Oh.
Please, Mom, can I?
No.
I feel like Elijah and I would get into a lot of trouble.
I feel like
I think we have to have a rule that says that this is the only way we're allowed to communicate or be in contact. Because if you put us in the same room, like, and if Elijah comes down here where there's firearms,
oh my God.
Oh no, you should see my handgun. I love that baby.
What do you got?
Jericho 941 with a silencer edition.
Wait, you can have those in Canada?
No, I'm not actually allowed to have the actual silencer, but it has the barrel threadings for it. So if I were ever go down to the
come down here to
States,
Colorado, pay $3,000. I'll get you a silencer. We'll hook you up.
$3,000 for a damn fucking silencer. Holy shit!
It's just supply and demand because you have to. It's heavily regulated here, like a lot of shit is, and so you have to pay like a $200 tax stamp, or stamp tax, I don't know, whatever. You have to pay $200 just for the privilege of owning it. You get fingerprinted, and then because the process of owning one is such a pain in the ass, people don't buy them, and then the demand goes up. So it's $3,000 for a silencer. It goes. It depends on the quality, but the places that I looked, it's anywhere from $1,800 to $3,000.
The only benefit to a silencer is nighttime firefights. Right? So all you're doing is just you're suppressing the flash.
Blowing out your eardrums if you shoot someone in your house. I mean, that's always
okay. Yeah, holy fuck! The first round I fired from that Jericho, just, son of a bitch. I look at movies and now and I'm like, you just fired off 9 fucking rounds. You can't hear the guy fucking walking up behind you. Fuck off.
Well, it's funny too because silencers don't. I've listened to silenced firearms at the firing range. They don't make that pew noise. They just make a very loud clap. It's like,
yeah,
it's so loud. Like I still have to have my hearing protection on.
It'll still give you a ring in ear, that's for sure. Yeah, because I mean, wow. But damn, that is the most fun I've ever had. Just fucking. Oh, I love fucking guns.
You just got a firearm, didn't you, Kat?
Oh, I have 2.
Ooh. Oh yeah, but you got a pretty pink one recently.
Yeah, she's pretty.
I have my blue one. It's my blue one. It's a Kimber Micro Sapphire, so it's blue. She's blue.
You have a Kimber.
It's pretty. It's a Micro Sapphire, and it's beautiful. It's on my Twitter profile. It's on my the banner pic. So, and then I have a Glock too. So yeah.
Oh,
very nice, very nice. If I could afford a Kimber, I would have loved to have gotten one. I love that grip safety, the whole Colt 1911 style. Like
See, I don't like the beaver tail. I'm sorry,
I got the Kimber because it had the safety and because of where I carry. I'm not comfortable carrying the Glock loaded. So I switched to the Kimber. So the Glock sits in the safe, and then the Kimber is my carry. So yeah.
That's the one thing I
fuck with Florida.
Around here in Canada, unfortunately, like we don't have any sort of like you're allowed to carry the gun. It's basically like it used to be that if I wanted to take the gun to the range, I would have to call the cops up and be like, okay, I'm leaving my house at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It takes me 45 minutes to get to the place. This is the route that I'll be taking.
Yep.
I can't speed. I can't deviate. I pretty much have to be there within 5 minutes of the time that I said, and and then call the cops when I got there. Oh, it was fucking ridiculous. Then they finally changed it. So, and I mean,
that's a stupid fucking law.
Oh wow, so many dumb laws. But I got the restricted handgun license for police foundations, and I've been paying for it for like 10 years. I was like, oh fuck, I've got the qualifications. Why the fuck don't I just go get a goddamn gun?
Nice. So, yeah, I've got a Beretta Nano. It's technically my wife's gun, but I like to carry it when I don't feel like lugging around my gun because my gun is a 6-hour P229 double stack.
Nice.
That fucker is heavy. It's all metal, and then it's got 2 rows of 9mm. So that thing's sitting on my waist, and I'm just like, not really comfortable.
You're walking funny.
A little bit, and it's because of the gun, not it's not because of Kelly or anyone else. But and then I have an AR-15 that's custom built. So
I have a Nerf gun.
Kelly, come down here. I'll let you.
Hey, my kid has a rack of Nerf guns. I put him on a pegboard. It's really cool.
Yes.
He must have like 30 Nerf guns. I'm like, it's ridiculous. And the drone, or not the drone, but the Terra crawler or whatever the hell it is.
I've seen that. Like, what the hell is that?
It like launches darts with the Nerf darts with a remote control. It's actually pretty cool. So yeah.
I want one.
I'll mail you mine. He won't
I have a
notice
feeling
it's
more
gone.
people are going to cancel on us if this is the way our shows turn out, because this is actually kind of funny.
What I missed?
Oh, well, so today we had a bit of a scramble because one of our guests was having technical difficulties, so he couldn't come in. And then on top of that, one of our co-hosts, John, his computer just like crapped out on him. So I don't even know if he's going to be able to get that fixed in time for next week's show, which would be interesting.
The Curse of Error 27.
And for those of you that are watching, we do have a show next week. It will be an hour later than our usual time, just because the guy we're going to be talking to is from Paris, or he's not from Paris.
No, he's from the UK, but he lives in Paris.
Going international, baby. We got Canada,
right?
UK, Paris. Like, we're all over the fucking place. But we're still doing it from the best country. America.
America.
Yeah.
America.
Land of the free, home of the brave.
Well, it's starting to be less and less land of the free and more land of the I swear to God, people here are so like just bitchy. They gotta bitch about everything.
People have they've become opinionated and they've lost their thick skin.
I kind of blame the internet for that. Because on the one hand, it's really cool. Like, remember when we were kids? Like, you asked your mom and dad something, and they usually didn't know the answer, but to pretend like they knew, they would be like, "Go look it up, kid." And then you'd be like, "Fuck, I gotta go to the library, or I gotta go like pull down the Encyclopedia Britannica that my parents bought that I don't ever read." I don't read. Do I really want to know the answer to that question? No, I don't. I really don't. Now it's like, what? Why is the sky blue? Wikipedia. Oh, look, it's just totally cool. Oh, look at this blue link. I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna click on that. And that's suddenly I'm like an expert on 50 different things I didn't even know about until I decided to ask why the sky was blue. But then, so I like that aspect of the internet, because then you kind of can like learn things at the touch of a button. But then on the other hand, you got a bajillion people that now think they're fucking experts on 50 different things. It's like, I just read this Wikipedia article, dude. Hey, where'd you get your education? Like, I have a bachelor's in mechanical engineering, you dumb fuck.
I think there's a phrase that comes from the samurai that everyone should learn. It goes, one should be able to hear about always and be more in accord with their own. And essentially what that's saying is, I can hear about anyone else's story, and whether I agree with it or disagree with it, it doesn't really make any difference, because all it's really doing for me is helping me to be more in accord with my own. If I agree with it and it changes my viewpoint, it's not a big deal, because I'm still in accord with my own. My own viewpoint has modified to encompass the new information.
That's very zen. That's actually why I like to debate. I don't debate people because I need to be right. I debate because you be quiet.
It's the only way to.
No, that actually is what it is for me. It's like, okay, if I'm right, then my ideas, my beliefs should be able to stand up against scrutiny. Well, how do you scrutinize beliefs? You ask, you put them out there, and then you say, fight me. It's like that's the whole point of a debate. And if I'm wrong, if my ideas can't stand scrutiny, well, then I need to change my ideas, or I need to reevaluate my arguments.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So like for me, it's like jujitsu almost. Like there's this thrill of combat, like where even when you lose, you're like, oh, I learned something new. That's really cool. I'm going to try that next time.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't get that. Like there's an art to debate. There's an art to sophistry where you can be persuasive, you can be passionate, you can speak what you believe, and yeah, okay, I'll admit that. Sometimes I come across as an asshole. But still, like, you can learn things through a kind of adversarial approach to knowledge or ideas. Like, I don't agree with you. And people can be like, well, fuck you. Or people can be like, well, fine, I'm not going to debate you then. Well, it's like, no, I want you to debate me because I want you to prove me wrong. And if you can't prove me wrong, that's great, because that means I picked the right side of the debate. Because debating is easy if you pick the truth. The truth stands on its own. So if you pick the right side, you should win that debate.
According to the Buddhists, Zen is entirely 100% subjective.
Really?
Right?
Well, Zen, I could see. But isn't Zen like a state of mind?
How about this? You happen to be walking down the street and you see Kelly, right?
Yeah.
The odds of you seeing Kelly being there and like not having any heads up whatsoever, totally random out of the blue, you're thinking this is amazing.
Surprise.
And yeah, and you go up and you start talking to her. And for that moment, it was true. You were seeing Kelly, not knowing that Kelly has a twin sister who looks exactly like her, so on and so forth.
Yes! Yes, she has a twin!
She doesn't in real life, but you get the idea, right? Because
well, that's raining on my fantasy, Elijah, asshole.
You believed you were talking in truth to Kelly, or you were going to be talking to her, right? So truth is subjective.
See, I have my take is I would say truth can't be subjective. It has to be absolute. And I'll address the Buddhist point of view in a second. For
Zach is going to join us. Be nice.
Oh, okay. Are we still going? Because it's been an hour.
No, I don't know if he's joining the call, but he says he's tuning in. So I'm just going to shout out to my friend Zach. If he's watching now, he's studying to become a journalist. Or if he's not studying to become a journalist, he probably should be. But he is in college right now, and he's a bright kid. And he's just awesome. He's gonna, if he keeps on going the way he is, he's gonna be a great journalist one day. So if you are watching, Zach, thank you and hi. And sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
We'll try to be nice.
Yeah, be nice because he's all liberal-ish.
We don't hate liberal. I don't hate liberals. I just like giving them a hard time, and because they make it so damn easy. But going back to truth. See, to me, truth, and this has to do with my religious beliefs. Truth is the knowledge of things as they were, as they are, and as they are to come. With regards, I can't view truth as subjective or moralistic, because if all truth is subjective, does that include the truth that says all truth is subjective?
Yes.
And Kat's going, I need more vodka.
I've had too much vodka. I think there's been too much vodka.
Like, I can't do metaphysics, guys.
I really don't care right now.
No, it's fair. It's fair. You do have to allow for at least an absolute truth. There has to be something that is an absolute truth.
Right.
For it to be completely and utterly subjective is an impossibility.
But I do accept that man's perception of truth, right? I believe that truth is external to everyone. Nobody has an internal truth, right? The truth is outside, right? And there's this really cool video, and I'll try to put it in the link in the bio of this. But there's this really cool video if you want to have your mind blown. This biologist talks about how biologically, evolutionarily speaking, we are not equipped biologically to perceive reality. There's no survival advantage to perceiving reality. In fact, there's a survival advantage to not perceiving reality, because reality requires, there's so much input, there's so much data that if we were to sit there and try to process it consciously, we would freeze. We would not be able to survive. And so, and he doesn't go into the math in detail, but he explains what they do with Monte Carlo simulations and things like that. And it basically explains, like, mathematically, we can prove that there's zero probability that man has evolved to be able to perceive the truth, or perceive reality, which is really kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. So that means that there's all these things happening that are true that we absolutely cannot perceive. And he goes into the kind of the philosophical questions. And what does that mean? Like, if I can't perceive the truth, then what do I know? Like, and that's why I love epistemology, which is the study of like knowledge and what we know and how we know it, and what can we really say we know. And so, since truth is external, since truth it's outside of us, our perception of it is always going to be fuzzy, right? Mm-hmm. You and I can look at the same truth, and it's like the blind man looking at an elephant, right? Depending on which part of the truth we have at the moment, we're gonna perceive it differently. And again, that's one of the reasons why I love to debate, because sometimes I'll debate people who are on my side. Kelly and I debate all the time, much to her chagrin.
Yeah, I feel like it's more just us fighting. But okay.
But I learn a lot from those debates, because it's like, okay, Kelly has one perception, right? I have another perception. We clash, we debate, we fight. Yes, they are fights. Sometimes they turn into really ugly fights, but we fight like a married couple sometimes. But at the end of the day, like, I learned something from that. If nothing else, I learned, okay, I need to stop being such an asshole.
One hopes.
I'm a slow learner, okay?
Inconceivable. I do not think that word means what you think it means.
I think people give me too much credit sometimes. Like, honestly, they feel like because I'm smart in one area, they feel like I should be really just as smart in the other. And it's like, no, in this thing, I'm really stupid. Like, people, no, I'm dumb. Feelings,
that's fair.
Retarded. Partial ordinary differential equations, I can do those. I'm cool. I'm good. Like politics, analysis, psychology, I can do all that. It's just people interactions I sometimes screw up on. So, all right,
that's okay.
We'll cut it short tonight. We've got, well, not short. We'll cut it here since we've been here on an hour. We appreciate you guys bailing us out at the last minute.
Yeah, it was so nice to finally see your face, Kat, and so nice to see you, Elijah. Yeah.
She posted in the family DM.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Nice save, Kelly.
I don't go in there much. I don't know.
But when you do, you slay that fucking dragon. You ride out like a goddamn champion.
Just quit while you're ahead. All right, so join us for next week. Guys, please follow us on Twitter. At _opinions. Elijah, where can they follow you if they want to watch your podcast?
At WTFATTA.
All right.
And you should. Kat, they are great. They're amazing boys. Love them.
It's hilarious. And actually, Elijah was one of the guys that really helped us get this shit show under control. So I feel like between him, Kelly, and Steph McWilliams, we've actually like managed this okay. And Kat, where can people follow you if they want to send you creepy DMs?
CatRabbit13.
I'm sending a creepy
That's it.
I'm sending it right now.
Awesome.
All right. And
Block.
Kelly, I already called you now. You don't.
You called me.
Follow Kelly at
send your dick pics to Kelly.
No. Well,
no.
She just don't send her dick pics, because you know what she's going to do? She's just going to send them to me and blame me. Yes. And it's a group account. The other account's a group account, so don't send the group account dick pics hoping to get her.
No, yes, send them there so that we can both see.
I wonder if you could make a mosaic out of dick pics.
You could. Oh my god! Why haven't we done this?
Awesome. That would be great. Do like a porn scene. Like freeze frame a porn,
right?
And then, take that frame and then do like a mural of like dick pics.
Or
I feel like that would be very made up.
We have a show where we just judge.
No, not enough vodka.
Oh, there's lots of vodka. Oh yeah.
I'd be the only sober person watching that. That would be horrible.
Oh, fuck.
Well, thank you guys for your patience. We're sorry we got to a late start tonight. We'll make sure to get start late next week because, like I said, we'll be interviewing a guy who's in Paris, and then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled time.
Elijah, when does what the fuck are they talking about air so people can?
Oh yeah,
Mondays at 8 Eastern Central.
Make sure you guys watch it. It's really I thought tonight was funny.
And you're gonna have me on, right?
Fuck yeah. Now that I've actually kind of got everything, like, now that I got a system down, everything has been worked out. There was 2 months where Air 27 was just beating me into the ground. Nothing would work. And for those who don't know, there's a bit of a curse for me. I'm not allowed to say the guy who created all the stuff that Steve Jobs didn't. I swear to God, I'm not allowed to even allude to his name. Just Error 27, which is the first initials put into numbers. I just it's scary. I think I've actually turned his name into a curse word.
I'm gonna be racking my brain all night trying to figure this one out.
If you're not running a Mac computer, you're running one of this guy's computers.
Okay, yeah, he's. How do you not have? Oh, okay.
I'm a little surprised.
I'm probably thinking too hard about it. That's like one of my.
Kelly, you can tell him. It's just me that can't say it.
I'm enjoying this actually.
Yeah, she likes to watch me squirm. It's really unpleasant.
It is.
Well, I mean, not for her.
You want to see unpleasant?
Sometimes not for me.
I said this guy's name 17 times in a row. My laptop and my desktop cut off midstream, shut down, and required complete formats.
So that's what happened to John. John's computer tonight.
So now
that's what I'm thinking.
We need to have him back on the show where all we do is try to get him to say the guy's name and see what happens.
It is terrible. You will get responses from people going, "You fucking asshole. I'm sending a message to you on my phone because my computer just fucking blew up." My Xbox just got a red ring of death. They don't even get those anymore.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you follow Elijah's show and watch it on Mondays. And we'll see you guys next week. You have a good night.